y'all, guess what? It is a whole year since we had this podcast set up. I mean, we went from keeping it real to coffee with E, and you all stuck with me the whole time. I am so excited. I actually can get a little choked up. We went from 0 subscribers to 580 as the time that we're recording this podcast, and I am so excited about it. You want to know why? Because I do not take it for granted that 580 of y'all saw fit enough to follow me. For what? Like, really? So that just really gets me choked up, and I'm excited. I have to share something with you. I have a goal. I have a goal to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of June 30th. Why 1,000? Because, I don't know, the YouTube people said that that's when I guess you're in kind of thing. That means you're really making some traction, and then you could do better things, open up great other opportunities to serve you all, to bring you better content. So can you help me by sharing? Now, if you're streaming, if you listen to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, I mean, share it on there too, right? Because some people like to listen while they drive, and that's okay. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few of your favorite episodes and clips and moments that we've shared so far this past year. Okay, so the first one, I have to laugh about this one because we identified this one here. First of all, let me give backstory. Let me stop. I'm getting excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so the one that you saw, or the most views so far, happens to be dear friends of mine. And I affectionately refer to them as the relationship pros. And you all loved them so much. It resonated with you so much that you enjoyed it. Now, the one clip, and hopefully you don't hear it too much because we're going to put it in this actual video here. The one clip actually has to do with, it was called The Heart of Commitment, okay? And it happened to be about, he's having a conversation about someone that is near and dear to me. You want to know who that near and dear person is? My grandfather. How small is this world that the advice that he provided, he had referenced something that my grandfather had given him advice about relationships. So here's the clip. Check it out. You all love this part.
One of the things that I heard one time that I still carry with me, and I actually used it the other day, it was your grandfather, Erica.
Okay.
He said, if a man try to hit on my wife, I don't get upset. I say to myself, he got good taste. You know? He said, no need to get upset. This comes with maturity now. Yes. We went to go pick up my youngest daughter from school.
Uh-huh.
I knew where we were going, but she felt like we didn't know where we were going.
Okay.
So she needed to go ask one of the maintenance workers that was riding around on his lawnmower or something. And she went and asked him, and then he trying to hit on her.
Oh.
I kept walking because I found this hilarious. I kept walking because, I thought back to like your grandfather said, hey, he got good taste, right. And I'm saying to myself, if you're fool enough to go with him, then feel free, but, I found it hilarious. So I started messing with her the entire day, telling her, what's wrong? You ain't want to go with extra big love?
Extra big love.
So I was messing, but those are things where maybe the 18-year-old in me would have gotten upset.
So
would have handled it different. Whereas the mature person of me now says, kind of find it comical. You laugh about it. Now you're texting people joking about it because it's like you're going to get upset every time somebody finds your spouse attractive. If nobody else found your spouse attractive, you may want to question why you with your spouse.
That's fair. I get that.
Like, man, did I really pick that bad of a dud?
Right.
But it goes back to exposure that I heard an older gentleman preaching, and one day he mentioned that, and it made me think about it, and it stuck with me. So that helped me when I was faced with that situation. I handle it different because I looked at it from a more mature perspective.
Now, to know Julius is to truly love him. And we will definitely be bringing him back as well as his wife, because she had dropped some amazing jewels, and they are on our channel, the Relationship Pros. So stay tuned, y'all. I cannot wait. Next one. The next one, y'all. I mean, this was just recent, maybe 2 weeks ago. Do you remember Dr. Amber Sessom when she brought in the heat, talking about how you are to show up in your true, authentic self at the workplace? Y'all, you heard her and you loved it and you could not wait to get more. She literally brought so many gems. I don't even know where to start. But this particular segment that you all thought was so good was when she actually was sharing how to lead in a room when you're the only woman in there. You all loved it. Check this out. Check this moment out.
Everyone has a great vision statement. Everyone has a great mission statement. And when I come and I say, where are you in and out of alignment? It's glaring. And then that's the work that we can do. But you can't do that just as a CEO, just as a superintendent. You have to do that in collaboration with not just the staff, but the community. So it's been really helpful to do that. But it makes people come alive because they find their voice. We're no longer thinking that you're in middle school. There's something about organizations that we treat people like they're children. And I just think that's disrespect. I'm like, I'm a full-grown adult. And even when I was a child, though, I would say, I'm still a human being. Like, why are you talking to me like that? So I try to disrupt that thought of, why are you yelling at them?
Yeah.
They're human beings.
At work?
Yes. I've had people that have said that they have PTSD from their leaders.
Oh, my gosh.
And we had to sit and, I had a whole group of C-suite people, and they said they scream and yell at me.
No.
And they had been doing this for 15 years. So then when they got a new leadership, they were still operating in that same fear mindset. And I had to say, we've now moved on, and we have to let that go. But so many people are dealing with that every day, and we don't know it until you give them the space to name it. And you're like, oh my gosh, you've been dealing with this for 15 years. That's not okay.
Yeah.
But they thought it was okay because I got this high paying salary. Isn't it okay?
That's abuse, wouldn't you think?
It is abuse.
Yeah.
I've had people say that to me. We did a presentation on Black female leadership within school psychology at our national conference. This lady is in the audience weeping. She had to get up, come back in, still couldn't get herself together. Afterwards, I just said, can I give you a hug? And I hugged her, and she goes, you gave me the language. I didn't know what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, my abuser is at this conference. She called her boss her abuser.
What?
And I'm thinking, that language is powerful, right? Abuse. And how many of us don't even realize that that's what's happening? You named it. It's abuse.
It is abuse.
That we think, well, I'm getting this paycheck. This is just how it is. And it doesn't have to be like that.
Verbal abuse.
It's verbal abuse. And there's a lot of people enduring this, and we don't know. Or I have people say, oh my gosh, I'm having panic attacks. I'm having heart palpitations. I can't sleep.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Amber Sessom, she is a force. And I believe that her best work is still ahead of her. I need you all to check her out. She has her own podcast set up, Natural Inclination. And her daughter have these amazing, raw and authentic conversation. Now, her daughter's only 10, and they're already taking the main stage. When I say I get goosebumps, I am getting goosebumps because I get so excited about seeing people do great things. Dr. Sessom, we are watching you, and I'm hoping people in our community can connect so we can make a great impact. Okay, y'all, next up, here we go. So this next one that was so popular actually was under a different brand name, Keeping It Real. And I don't know why, y'all, but you were selecting ones, and the ones that are resonating with you are really hitting close to home. This one is probably the closest because I sat down with my son and we actually had a raw conversation about an unfortunate situation that he had to deal with. And it was his interaction, a negative interaction with the police force. Now, you hear it all the time in the news, and you never think it's going to be at your front door. And it did. It was unfortunate, but the good news is he's here to talk about it. And that, if anything else, I'm grateful for. God never wastes an experience. I know that for sure. So I don't know why that happened to him or how he's going to be using it in the future. But you all, it resonated with you. And I don't know if it's because you had that same experience or if it's just simply you were shocked to learn that someone that you may know, if you're in our community, or someone that looks like you has that same experience. Whatever it is, it resonated. I need you to check out this popular segment. As a Black man that was just at a shooting, that, hey, we need to ask him questions. So instead of cooperating, you said, nope, I'm not going to deal with it because of past experiences.
Right. Yeah, and then
I'm just going to run. Right. I want to run. I'm going to be safer if I run. And then getting caught and tased and caught, jumped on. And the first thing he says to you is,
yeah, we should have shot you in the head.
We should have shot you in the head.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy. But at the same time, it's like, it's sad, but like we normalize stuff like that. When I say we, I mean like from experiences, stuff that we saw. Like, I'm not, like, if that would have happened, like, obviously it didn't for a reason, but like, let's just say they do shoot and I survived that, I wouldn't have been surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not something I would have been like, oh my God, I can't believe they shot at me. It's like, I was more so like, wow, they didn't shoot. Because literally, this past weekend, a little boy was running from the cops and got killed. Same area, same style, cops running after him. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it is crazy because like I said, stuff like that is kind of like normalized. Like seeing people get like shot, people get killed. Like I had to experience like death at a young age. Like when it comes to like gun violence, and then also like, police doing stuff like that. Like that was, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that one was heavy. That was. And I'm hoping it educated you. And I'm hoping you're able to share it with someone that may be struggling, that has recently gone through it, or has a family member that has gone through that. I don't wish that on anyone, y'all. I don't. Okay, next up, let's make this a little lighter, okay? Because that was a little heavy, right? So let's make it a little bit lighter. How about that? So most recent, we had the privilege of sitting down with someone that is someone that cleans for a living. I'm only laughing because when I think of this person here, Ben Bragg, I think of this quote. It just resonated. He said it so often. So you cannot not remember this. He is a super cool guy, right? And you cannot think of him without thinking of this quote. If you watch the full episode, he says he is temporarily, can I say it? Temporarily motivated to be permanently lazy. I mean, aren't we all kind of, I guess, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things? But I think he has expeditious plan to make sure he no longer has to work. However, y'all heard him. You really thought what he had to say when he talks about why he documents every step of his process, that resonated with you. Check this piece out.
When I went to the franchising, they said, hey, we can help you with the financials and how to do this, but we don't know the operations.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there in 2005. I didn't go back and get started till 2011 because I was like, 500 pages? And my ADHD just shut me down.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. So then over the years, I started just thinking about how can I organize. So now I had this everything in business. I started saying, okay, I need to be able to write this down and document the process, because when people buy a franchise, they can't think. It's designed like that. You need to, hey, how do I go to a building? You got to get the keys, you stick it in the hole, turn an alarm off. There can be no aspect of it that is wonder into thought. So that's what I had to do. So it took me years to ABB. And then, so I finally started getting the franchising developing. And then I came into another problem. It was a positive problem. Got the franchises and people up. And then people started coming to me saying, Ben, I need you to price this job for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there again, I'm going to resort back to my word of lazy. Is therefore, then I want to see you switch this up. It's there for. So now all of these contractors are coming to me for proposals. Can you do this proposal? Now I got work on my desk. And then they got the nerve to call me and say, did I do it yet? Now, granted, this is money that'll build the business.
Right.
And I don't want to do the work. So, Miss Erica Rawls, please give me what that word would be.
Then we're rooting for you to be temporarily motivated, to be permanently lazy. We need updates. Okay. Update us. How about that? Okay. The next one is yours truly. Who would have thought that you all are resonating with this one clip, the one clip about do it afraid, even if success scares you? That's a real thing. It's a real thing. And I'm so glad that you all loved it and enjoyed it. And we're going to do more content like that in the future too, because I think it's important. That's what this platform is all about. So, yep, here it is. Here is the segment right here. One of the things I feel is a great testament to you being a successful business person or a business owner is results through other, and then they actually go out and they do just as well as you. You're grooming people to be the best people that they possibly be so they can actually evolve into the best versions of themselves. Sure, some people are going to stay and some people may leave, but as long as your business is growing, that's a great testament to you. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to do it afraid. It's okay to be afraid, but you can't be stuck in fear because that is not acceptable. Take that leap of faith, go after it, grab it, and just keep going. You have nothing to lose. I promise you. You'll be happy you did. Yeah, I can't help it but to be a cheerleader. I promise you, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. Have I said it to you before? You're going to hear it a million times because it's true. I'm rooting for you. Do it afraid, do it well, do it in excellence, and let me know how you make out. Now, I have two more for you. The first one, both of these are full episodes. And this is when the channel was really young. So the numbers that these pulled in is absolutely amazing. I want to say at the time that the two episodes that I'm going to share with you here in a moment, we may have had 200 max people. Now, when I say 200 subscribers, people that are engaged, that's how many people that we had subscribed on YouTube. Now, if you're watching this or listening to this on another streaming channel, they're getting better with the analytics. And yet the home of Coffee with E, at one time Keeping It Real, is on YouTube. So join us. We would love to see you in the comments there too. Now, I had the privilege of early on having conversations with 4 dynamic young people. And to this day, we stay connected because of our experience that we had. Why did I like them so much? Because they were so different and yet so much the same between their age range, social economic class, their jobs, their upbringing. They were just so rich with information that you all responded in such a great way. Like, it was absolutely amazing. So much so that we brought them back for a second episode. Who am I talking about? Well, the title of the episode, Lessons Unheard. Y'all, we had over 1,000 views and 13 conversations. And we had so much more on our social media platforms. I mean, the numbers were crazy, insane. Gave me goosebumps, gave them a high. Cause you know that age bracket, it's just that dopamine like shot whenever you go on social media and you see that all these people are liking and engaging. And yeah, y'all young people know what I'm talking about. I mean, they were texting back and forth like, oh my gosh, look what's going on. So they not only fed into you, you fed into them in such a way you didn't know behind the scenes. So if you haven't seen it, we have 4 dynamic women, Lessons Unheard. They are young. I want to say the oldest one was 30, maybe 30. And they all had different stories. And that just the energy was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So check it.
My biggest thing to my younger self would be to do what makes you happy and not what makes others happy, whether it's your family, your coaches, your teachers. Just to give a little background, I'm gonna flex a little bit.
Go ahead. That's something I would definitely tell myself, is that even though you make a mistake, because you're gonna make mistakes, like that's gonna happen. That's just life. But those don't define you. The biggest thing that you get out of your mistakes when you make them is that, one, is either you'll never do that again, and if that does happen again, you know how to get yourself out of it.
One thing that, and I'm still learning, is you don't have to always get it right. I feel like that is my biggest thing in life. Even though I don't feel like I ever get it right, I feel like that's always my goal. I feel like I live my life in a way where I'm always like, what is the right thing, instead of what is the thing for Denisha. You came here for one thing, you're going to finish it, and that's it.
My advice is to not be so passive, like kind of tell people what you want and go get it, instead of just saying, okay.
Sounds like you was around people who were afraid that you were going to do better than them.
And there's power in the tongue.
And obviously, like, to be more confident too, because I really did start off like very, very shy. Like I would have never done this like 2 months ago. I would have been like, Erica, you're sweet now.
Okay, y'all, this is the last one. Definitely not the least. Probably the most favorite. One that resonated with a lot of people. I mean, a lot. Conversations were going back and forth, whether it was on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere that we place this. You can definitely tell that this individual has so much favor, is so much God-gifted talent, that she's able to resonate in a way that just captures your ears as well as your heart. The story that she shared was raw, and it was just authentic, and a lot of people can see themselves in her. Gillian Brooks' episode was absolutely amazing. And for that, I thank you for responding in such a way. Never met her until we actually shot this episode. So to sit down with someone that you don't know, that's a risk. You only see things, right? You read about people, but you never know if the chemistry is going to be right. And when I tell you that there was a fire that automatically lit as soon as I said hello at the front door, happened to be at the studio. We weren't in a multi-million-dollar mansion like most of our episodes. We literally were sitting down here in our studio that we're in today, and it was dynamic. When to change your friend circle is the one that stands out the most.
One thing that's super important as you are getting older or as you're in your journey is to always have discernment about the people around you. So, of course, like you said, there's people that we become friends just because the energy is right, or we met somewhere and we just hit it off. And sometimes I don't think subconsciously that we take inventory on that person and why they're in our lives. And so this is something that I'm learning to do as I've gotten older, is that when I meet people, I had to learn that everybody is not your friend. So I think it's important that people, as us in general, women in general as well, is to really take inventory of the people in our life and also why this person is in our lives.
Okay, y'all, it's been a year, and we're looking to have multiple years here to build on this platform. But guess what? Remember when I said this is not about me? I promise you it's not. It's about you. So I need you to do me a favor. Let me know what you want to hear about. Who do you want me to bring to have an interview with, to have coffee with me? Let's make it happen. Cheers to 1 year. Thank you for joining this community, and I'm looking forward to the best, which is yet to come.